I'm gonna keep it a stack. The two hardest parts of this chapter. Number one, the return of Baako the tiger. I know I can't be the only one hyped to see my dog, my tiger, my cat. You feel me, you feel me. And then number two, I am very happy that Soichiro got turned from just a character that's in the series to a character that actually has some depth and a very lovable personality. I was laughing while I was reading Soichiro talk about him and his brother's relationship, but at the same time, it makes me very excited to see more of Soichiro. And more than anything, I hope that he is just as strong as he has been hyped to be. But we will talk more about my dog in this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey! Our dog Soshiro won the fight versus number 12, which is hype in itself. And one thing that I have to stick to is that this fight has truly been the best fight of this war so far. It has started the best, it has had the best character development, and on top of that, it concluded the best. I love the way the Kikoru's fight concluded with Kaiju number 15 kind of having that realization and having those human emotions, but Kaiju number 12 also had human emotions too, and it showed whenever it was just about to fall. Because right before it fell, it actually looked over at Soshiro and Kaiju number 10 and just smiled as it's losing all of its vitals, right? And a picture is worth 1,000 words, dog. That smile said everything to me. It showed that Kaiju number 12 truly did enjoy that fight. Obviously, it was sent there with the objective of taking out Soshiro by number 9, but at the same time, once everything was said and done, Kaiju number 12 was enjoying the thrill of a fight the same exact way that Kaiju number 10 does. And that does make sense, right? Because number 12 is the finished product of the prototype Kaiju number 10. So if it's the finished product, then I'm going to assume that it also has some of the same things that it likes or enjoys, which in this case is fighting. So if anything, Soshiro is the ultimate foe, because at this point Soshiro has taken down Kaiju number 10 and Kaiju number 12. Our big dog has been different, and I'm not saying that Soshiro took out 10 by himself. I know he had the 3rd division and Mina and Kikoru and all them with him, but regardless, our man did it. Our man did it. And even after we figured out that our man did it, the next person that figured out that Soshiro took out Kaiju number 12 by himself was none other than his older brother Soichiro Hoshina. And watching Soichiro receive the news that Soshiro won the fight versus number 12 was my favorite part of the chapter by far, dog, because we finally got to see some personality from Soichiro. And if anything, he is hilarious and one of the most goofy characters in this series. It's also funny to see that, hey, Soichiro is not just some average soldier. My man is the 6th division captain. Keep in mind he's a captain, and you compare his personality to Mina's personality, and they are two people that are captaining in completely different ways. To see Soichiro joking around with his workers talking about, well, of course Kaiju number 12 lost. I heard that bro tried to challenge Soshiro to a blade of battle, or a battle of blades. I can't even do that. He's the best person in our family in past and present. That was mad to see, bro. And it's also funny to see the difference in how these brothers looked at their childhood growing up. Obviously, everybody thought that Soichiro was the incarnate of the Hoshina family bloodline, but the way that Soichiro saw it is, yeah, I know that I'm good, but Soshiro's 5 years younger than me, and every single time I train him, little bro is getting better and better. I'm not gonna be able to keep up no more, so I gotta bully him and make sure that he don't get better than me. And I thought that that was a hilarious dynamic to their relationship, and it made their brotherly relationship feel real, dog. Hell, if you go talk to Darzus, me and Darzus obviously grew up together, and we have the same exact age gap, 5-year age gap. And I think back to times when we were playing PlayStation or playing games outside, and if he won a round, there's no way. We're running it back 3 more times so that I can beat you worse than you ever even touched me. Pause. You gotta bully the younger brother. So if anything, Soichiro just did what he was supposed to be doing as the older brother in this relationship, bro. And I think that's what made me laugh so much more than anything, because I very much so relate to Soichiro, and watching him talk to his worker, and his worker was like, well, do you want to at least congratulate your brother on beating a Daikaiju by himself? He said, nah, man, like, Soshiro hates me. I bullied him too much, so he don't even he cut ties with me a long time ago. So I don't even think he would want to hear my congratulations. But nah, I think that just seeing that personality come out of Soichiro, see that he does care about his younger brother, and if anything, he's the reason that Soshiro is as strong as he is now. When you have iron sharpening iron, all it does is create stronger iron in the end, bro. Now, the next interesting tidbit about Soichiro in this chapter is the fact that he is captaining the 6th Division and about to lead them to fight a Daikaiju. Now, there are 2 Daikaiju that I think that this could be. It could either be the glowing white kaiju, the huge one that was spotted in the forest, which I don't think it is, or the second one is it could be that kaiju that was draining those oil canisters, right? Now, what is this kaiju gonna do? I can't answer that question whatsoever, but it very much so seems like they are about to. I was talking to my dog Gengar inside of our Discord. Gengar, if you're watching this, shouts. But we were talking about how basically they are about to protect the metropolitan city, and that glowing white Daikaiju was actually seen inside of a forest. So it makes me think that this other kaiju that was draining those oil canisters is going to be the one that they are gonna fight. I am hyped to see what that Daikaiju is going to be, and even more excited to see just how strong Soichiro really is. He has been hyped up by Soshiro to just be this incarnate, insane blade wielder, and obviously Soshiro never beat Soichiro. So that means that Soichiro's got to be top notch. And it's funny to see too that Soichiro bullied Soshiro, and now Soshiro is bullying Narumi. And it makes so much more sense. Soshiro's just bullying people because he got bullied, man. Hurt people hurt people. I feel for my dog Soshiro, man. That's actually the saddest story in this manga. And if you disagree with me, click off the video. I'm just kidding. Please stay, man. Please. And then the final thing that we're going to talk about in this video, dog, is obviously Kaiju number 14 versus Mina. And it got off to a very hot start. We saw Baako make a return. We saw a couple of the powers that Kaiju number 14 has. So thus far, we've seen that it can teleport to different places erratically. I wonder if there is some sort of way to know where and when it's going to teleport. And then it also has this shield that none of these guns that soldiers have shot have been able to penetrate, and it makes me wonder, is there only certain things that can penetrate that shield, or are they just not discharging enough firepower to actually penetrate that shield? If it is only certain materials can penetrate the shield, that's gonna be tough, bro. And it's cool because this monolith kaiju honestly kind of reminds me of a angel from Evangelion. And there's one, I just almost said kaiju in Evangelion, but I guess technically they are kind of kaiju, they're huge, but there's one angel in Evangelion that, if y'all remember, they had to throw the spear to get the bro, right? Like, that's what penetrated it and finally killed it. I wonder if this kaiju is going to be similar in a way where Mina is not just going to be able to shoot any gun to penetrate that shield. It's going to have to be a certain type of gun, or the gun's going to have to do a certain type of thing, whatever it may be. I just can't imagine that this kaiju is going to be that easy to take out. And the other thing that made me curious about this kaiju too is that as it was discharging these blasts out of its mouth, it was also crying at the same time. One of those faces, whenever it did like that zoom in, it was crying as it was just about to discharge that blast. Is that just like each face might have a different emotion, or each face is just doing something while it's firing off the blast? I don't know, but it just kind of made me curious a little bit. I don't know if that means anything or if it was just part of the artwork of Kaiju number 14. But regardless, Mina came through, said that at the end of the chapter, they're just going to shoot right through the shield to get the number 14. And that's a very awesome thought to have. But as we've seen with these Daikaiju battles, not a single one has gone to plan until people are going through drastic situations, dire situations. So it's not going to be that easy to just shoot through Kaiju number 14. But the one thing I am happy about is I thought Mina was already going to be beaten to a pulp by the time that we saw her, dog. So to see that Mina is actually going to be fighting, and we finally get to see spotlight on what is supposed to be basically Kafka's younger sister, romantic interest, whatever it is, a character that is a major player in this series, And we haven't seen too much spotlight from Mina, so I am very excited to get into Mina next, especially if she's about to get the story building that we got from Kikoru, Hoshina, and Narumi, right? So don't got much to say yet because obviously we don't know that much, but all in due time, all in due time. This chapter was a slower chapter, but it explored a lot more of the relationship side of things and finally got us introduced to Kaiju number 14, a couple of those abilities. And yeah, I'm hyped to see next chapter, bro. 95, Mina versus Kaiju number 14. What's gonna happen? Mina's probably gonna get hurt pretty bad. And then she's gonna have a flashback. And then she's gonna win the fight. But I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. Kinda playing. Kinda not. But nah, I appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, arigato if you stopped by and watched. And other than that, I'll catch y'all later. Bro, I have not hit y'all with a note in a minute. And I'm in Dargis' place. I'm not in my own. So I might as well hit the note here, right? Peace. Come on, bro. I sound like Fergie and Jesus.